Good evening to all. I'm Jacqueline Sustaita, President of the Weslaco ISD Board of Trustees. This regular board meeting is being conducted in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting has been posted online for at least 72 hours. A recording of this meeting is being made and will be available to the public at a later date, and it is online on YouTube right now. The time is now 5:39 p.m., and I'll call this meeting to order. I'll now begin the roll call. Trustee Rodriguez.
Present.
Trustee Cuellar.
Present.
Trustee Castillo. Trustee Trevino. I know he's here, but he's in the back.
Yeah,
Okay. Trustee Nieto.
Present.
Trustee De Los Santos.
Present.
Let the record show that a quorum of board members is in attendance. That'll move us on over to item number 3, the invocation.
Would you be so kind to bow your heads and let us pray? Heavenly Father, our Lord Jesus Christ, how great and mighty you are. We honor and magnify your holy name. Thank you for the gift of life, health, family, friends, strength, and ability to work to provide for our families. Thank you for your faithfulness and protection over the lives of our students, staff, and families. We thank you for the blessing of entering a new year, a season of new opportunities, a season to draw closer to you in humility and reverence. Father, we ask you to continue to bless and grant greater wisdom to our superintendent, Dr. Richard Rivera, and our board. Bless them and their families beyond measure for their service and sacrifice for our community. Thank you for their heart you have placed in them to serve. There is abundant blessing in serving others wholeheartedly. Father, may your will be done in our board meetings. May we always maintain integrity in what you have left in our care. Your word declares that everything that we do, whether in word or action, let it be done unto you. Above all, we ask you to bless our students with divine protection, physical and mental health, and providence. May their homes and our classrooms be filled with love and support every day of the year. There is gratitude in our hearts for all that you have done, are doing, and will do in the days to come. We ask you all this in your precious, glorious, and mighty name of Jesus. And everyone says, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Trevino, the Director of Assessment and Accountability. Now we move on to item number 4, the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge.
Thank you. At this time, we'd ask everyone to please stand, place their right hand over their heart, and face the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we'd ask everyone to remain standing, right hand over their heart for the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Mr. Buttimer. Up next, we have our awards and recognitions.
Yes, good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Rivera. Tonight we'd like to recognize some very special high school students who recently qualified for the All-State Mariachi group. How about a big hand as they enter the room? Tonight we want to celebrate a tremendous accomplishment. 2 high school students were recently selected to perform with the prestigious All-State Mariachi. We congratulate Mateo Houston from Weslaco High School and Giada Ortiz from Weslaco East High School. Our students were selected to be part of this elite 18-member ensemble after auditioning against hundreds of students from across the state. Mateo was selected to be one of 9 violin players in the All-State Mariachi, and Giada was selected as the only vihuela player. This is the first time in the history of our mariachi group that our students have been selected to All-State. The All-State Mariachi will perform at the Texas Music Educators Association Convention in San Antonio at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center on February 10th. Congratulations. We'd also like to recognize their director and advisor, Weslaco ISD Mariachi Director Pierre Sustaita. Weslaco High School Mariachi Director Jose Zamora. Senior Mariachi Advisor Mario Ferrer. And if Mateo and Yara's parents are here, can they please stand and be recognized? Parents. Okay, can we give them their certificates and take a photo real quick? Here we go. Okay, so up next we have some counselors that we want to recognize tonight. If they're in the audience, if they could please step forward and come up to the top. Come up to the front, please. Some very special counselors from some schools, Memorial Elementary, Sam Houston Elementary, and Weslaco East High School. As we say a few words about you. Right there is good. You wanted to step up one?
Yes, up.
There you go, yeah.
That's most of the room.
Mr. Casanova, how you doing, sir? All right. Come on, you guys know what to do. This time it's the counselors. There you go. All right, here we go. All right. Okay, here we go. So tonight we are recognizing a special group. For the first time in the history of Weslaco ISD, the Texas School Counselor Association presented 4 campuses with a 2023-2024 CREST Award for providing excellent counseling programs. CREST, which stands for Counselors Reinforcing Excellence for Students in Texas, recognizes programs which have demonstrated a successful implementation of the Texas model devised by the Texas Education Agency. Counselors receive the CREST Award from Memorial Elementary. Please wave. Sam Houston Elementary. Weslaco East High School. And Weslaco High School. Our counselors will travel to the TSCA Annual Conference February 24th in San Antonio to receive this award and to be recognized at the state level. Congratulations, all. All right. Okay, board members can take it. Right.
Okay. Oh, from there. Okay. Or no.
Congratulations, counselors, and Dr. Sid. And that concludes our awards and recognitions. Next on the agenda.
Okay. Congratulations to mariachi students and the counselors. Way to go, everybody. Item number 7, proclamations.
Well, number 6 is the recognition.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped that one. Yep. Recognition of Weslaco Independent School District School Board of Trustees. I skipped it.
Well, January is School Board Recognition Month, and we want to take the time to acknowledge our board members for their service to our district. Following this year's theme, Locally Elected, Community Connected, we honor our trustees who volunteer countless hours every school year to do what is best for our students on behalf of the community of Weslaco. Our trustees work together towards the success of every student and staff in our district. On behalf of our superintendent and all the departments and campuses, we present plaques and gift baskets as tokens of appreciation. How about a big hand for our school board?
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to recognize each board member individually. We'll start off with our school board president, Jacqueline Sustaita. Ms. Sustaita has begun her 4th year of school board service. A photo, you want to? Okay, ready? Up next, completing 9 years of service, Vice President Isidoro Nieto. Has completed 7 years of service, Board Secretary, Dr. Jaime Rodriguez. Have served 6 years of service, Trustee, Coach Armando Cuellar. Has 4 years of service, Trustee Marcos de los Santos. Has 4 years of service, Trustee Jesse Trevino. Not present, but we want to recognize him, has recently completed his 1st year of service, Ben Castillo. All right, photo. All right, once again, how about a big hand for our school board of trustees? That concludes our recognition of the WISD School Board of Trustees.
Thank you very much. Item number 7, proclamations.
Proclamation. We have a proclamation we'd like to recognize. We have a couple of weeks we want to recognize, and so we're going to do that now. We have the National School Counseling Week and FCCLA Leadership Week as well. So I'm going to read this. Oh, and also CTE Education Month. And we do have some people who are present today that are going to be recognized during this proclamation. Can they please stand? We have some people here from the Career and Technology Education Department. And FCCLA. Thank you for being here. Weslaco Independent School District has a long-standing tradition of excellence and striving to bring together all resources to provide our students and staff with the best opportunities for success. To that end, Weslaco ISD acknowledges and celebrates initiatives, departments, and organizations to join in our efforts to develop, expand, and enrich our learning environments for students, parents, and employees. Therefore, Jacqueline Sustaita, President of the Weslaco Independent School District Board of Trustees, does hereby proclaim February 2024 as CTE Education Month. We also proclaim in February 2024 National School Counseling Week, February 5th through the 9th, 2024. FCCLA Leadership Week, February 12th through the 16th, 2024, in Weslaco ISD, and urge all citizens to recognize with appreciation our district's commitment to education and helping our children achieve their highest potential. Thank you very much. That concludes our proclamations.
Thank you so much for coming to the board meeting and giving your time. I know it's very important. We really appreciate you being here. To the Career and Technology staff and the FCCL members. Thank you very much. And the counselors who were here earlier. That takes us to item number 8, public comments.
There are none.
There are none, okay. We'll move on to the superintendent's report. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. You have the information? Let me start on page 1. This is the first semester ADA and the schools that achieved the target. The magic number is 14,000. Any amount over that, we get additional monies. Monies below that, we have to pay back. So as you can see, by 6 weeks, the ADA was 14,639. It's gone down since then, 14,231. Third 6 weeks, 13,904. The average is 14,258, which means an additional $2.2 million for our budget. On the bottom, you can see the goals. The elementary, the goal that I have every week for them is 96%. The middle school's 95%. The high school's 94%. For every ADA, the amount is $6,500 per student. To the right, you see 3 schools that surpassed their goal. Kleckler held 97.4, Central right at 95, South Palm Gardens 97.4. So again, the goal here is to improve the 4th and the 5th and the 6 weeks. That's the goal that we have. On page 2, I want to share with the board the status of the construction projects. The billboard, and we're very proud of that one going up. That one should go up by September 24. The engineer is Robert Kishner, and we're pushing him to make sure that it's ready by that time. The stadium scoreboard at East, the Half Associates is the one that's doing the engineering, and we should have that ready by this March in about 2 months. The playground equipment, this is Sigler Winston, and the goal is February of this school year. The drainage improvement, this is Guzman and Munoz, and the date is also February 24. The HVAC upgrades at Memorial, Northbridge, and Airport, pending construction drawings, and Trinity is doing this one, and the goal here is November of 24. Hopefully get this earlier when the school year starts. The vestibules at Silva Gonzalez and Memorial, we need to ratify the contract tonight, and it's the Warren Group, and the goal is August of 24. Again, we want that sooner. The fuel tanks and transportation, the engineer is Sigler Winston, and the goal is September 24 or earlier. On page 3, last week we talked about the band hall, and I told the board I would come back with a report. So this is the information we have. To the left, the architect was ERO, and the fee was 6%. The contractor was NM Contracting, and the warranty is for the roof is for 20 years. The project began in July of 2018. Substantial completion was done in November 2019. The board approved the project closeout on August of 23. The cost of the project was almost $4 million. We did secure some liquidation damages and unspent allowances that were credited back to WISD of $140,000. The contingency, about $100,000. Liquidation damages, $41,000. Now, what's the cause of the roof leaks? In fact, even this week, it still leaked some. So this is what has happened. The contractor that was hired used 3 roofing companies to complete it. So the roof is there, again with the warranty. The problem staff has identified is not the roof, it's a gasket failure on the roof drain. The action that we've taken is to make sure that's correct and it's not the roof. We have a roofing company that will come and try to fix the drain, and the repair work will start. The estimated cost is about $1,400, but also ERO, they told us they will be back to supervise the work to make sure the work is correct. So again, this is the update on the band hall. The best of our knowledge is not the roof. So once we check to see if it's the roof drain, if it's not that, then we'll come back and study this project again.
Dr. Vera,
Yes.
one question.
Yes.
I know that they also had HVAC problems, if I remember correctly, during these, because it's only 4 years old, correct?
Yes.
Had they had HVAC problems also?
Mr. Miracle, I can't answer that. Mr. Miracle, have we had,
I knew about the leaks, but
Okay.
I believe they had some HVAC problems too.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Vera. Yes, so early on, we did have some problems, and typically those problems come around when we have any power issues. And so, we've had issues with power quality at the campus. We've reached out to AEP, and they're assuring us that they're looking at their power distribution station to see if the problems are there. But other than that, we haven't heard anything else. When we do send the technicians out there, they go out there and reset the units if they're tripped. But that the units are working fine, it has to do with power issues.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Are you in constant, Mr. KWES? Are all these things that are being discussed being taken care of?
Yes, they're
Because
being,
you're there every day, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
would know.
There, like he said, there are a lot of electrical problems. When we lose power, we lost our garage door burned out. We lost some TVs. We lost quite a few things due to the electrical issues. But yeah, it's been taken slowly, but it's been taken care of. We just been having a lot of issues, and still currently have issues. And everything that is being said is just under warranty, so it hasn't been taken care of, or it's still in the process of being taken care of.
Sir,
Go ahead, Jesse.
sir, from Coach, I don't know, or Mr. Quaid, I don't know how long you've been there, I can't recall, but from the get-go, I noticed, or I know that you guys incurred a lot of damages to your instruments. I don't know what else. Can you brief us on that? Because and if those items were ever replaced to the fullest? And just, if you can brief us on that. I thought the TVs were damaged due to water, not so much electrical. Well, some electrical shortages caused by water that was leaking through the roof.
I don't know if it was the water, but we lost, it was during the storm, or we just lost a lot of stuff, like our fire department, not fire department, our alarms went off, they didn't come back in. As far as water, we did have some molds in the bathrooms, and some of our instruments did get molded. All they told us to do is just to wipe it down. We did have to throw away some of our music because we lost, because it was just too moldy, and when we opened it up, we had to throw that. But as far as some of the instruments, we were able to wipe down. But as far as material, we ended up just throwing them away.
There's different measures that need to be taken other than just a basic wipe down, especially when you're dealing with mold. Did we take that, or I don't understand why you guys were given such a simple task or instructions just to, hey, simply wipe down the mold and you guys can use them. No, there's actually protocol or different methods that you need to take when you're dealing with mold. Did we do that?
Yes, sir.
Obviously not, or he
So
just-
the process when conducting mold remediation is that. So anything salvageable that does not have to be discarded, then it just gets sanitized and it's reusable. If it's something like wood, where the water has penetrated and impregnated the wood and it's damaged it, or any materials like paper, cardboard, and so forth, it's always recommended to discard all that. But if it's salvageable and it just needs to be sanitized, cleaned, and then it can be reused.
But if it's molding, the mold causes during a duration of time, that's not something automatically. It's not like you're playing out there in the rain and you got to wipe them down. In order for the mold, that means they were stored away or you guys didn't know they got wet. So they did incur some type of moisture damage or something in order for the mold to grow. So was that addressed properly? Are the instruments intact 100%, or are there any issues? Right. I mean, right now is the time to speak up. I would really like to know.
So if I may chime in real quick. So initially during the project, as the report states right here, the contractor had a roofer in there. He brought in a second roofer. The first roofer wasn't able to finish the project. And so what happened was that we were experiencing literally gushing water and leaks through the walls and so forth. When the third contractor came in and replaced the entire roof once again, that's when all of that stopped. So everything went over and transferred to the plumbing or roof drains. And so at that time, we're having leaks in the instrument lockers, and that's when all that moisture and humidity came into the building. Also, we're having some water in the main rehearsal hall coming in through the walls. So it was strange to us to find out that there was water coming in through the walls. I was actually concerned at the time, but, well, come find out that after they replaced the roof, all that went away. So once that was done right, the re-roof was done right, then all of that went away. We didn't experience any more flooding into those areas, or at least more water penetration through the walls. And it was through the wall at the floor level. So that indicated that the water was coming in between the wall through the cinder block and then penetrating the building at the floor level. So again,
To me, it just, that seems like it's something more than just a $1,400 cost of repair. To me, I mean, I think the worst thing you can have in a house, and I think everybody here can agree, is to have any type of leaks coming down in a house, especially in a 4-year-old house, or in this case, a building that was built to last. I don't know what.
So at this time, that's what we have. And so our staff went out there to the building on Monday or yesterday after this weekend's rain, and they walked the building, and that's the only leak that they've identified, which is a leak that's been somewhat consistent in that roof drain, underneath the roof drain. We haven't seen anything else. And the leaks that I'd mentioned that where the water was coming in through the walls, those were addressed with the replacement of the roof.
What about the first time you guys had the in between the completion of the roofing and the first flooding or the first leakage that occurred there? Was there any sustained damage there during that time?
As far as the instruments, other than it got wet and moldy, we just, wiped down, but we did have to throw away some of our music from our library. A lot of stuff that when it first, water got in there because the windows weren't sealed and it just flooded 3 rehearsal halls.
To me, that's just uncalled for.
And a lot of the stuff, we were just barely getting in there, so we didn't have that much equipment in there. That was the first major flood, but like I said, it was just a lot of stuff got wiped down, and just the music we just had to throw away.
To me, it's incredible how ERO Architects was still on the list this last week when we did the interviewing. I don't understand why we're still doing business with them or NM contracting as well. When you don't seal the windows, obviously everybody knows you're putting up new windows. They need some type of seal. I don't know how that's overlooked by project managers, by just anybody on site that's supposed to be overseeing this.
Well, and again, it's not something that was overlooked. Once we identified the problems, you can tell that's the reason why we held the project so long before we closed it out. Now we're down to this leak, which again, it's intermittent. We've had situations where we have the leak, and then other times we don't have the leak. And so at the time that we didn't have any leaks, that's when we proceeded to close out the project, assuming that everything had been corrected properly. And again, what we're seeing right now is just that minor leak in the main hallway, right outside of the main rehearsal hall.
I know we haven't done any new construction, Doctor, and I know this is before your time here, but I just want to make sure that going forward that we hold these companies accountable to the fullest, because this is here we are 4 years late down the road, 5 years out, and we're still having issues with leaks, whatever it may be, even if it's screws. I don't care. We're still having issues, and we shouldn't be having these issues. They shouldn't be having to put up with these things.
Yes, sir. No, and we do take note of that. We make sure that we identify any subcontractors or contractors that are not performing to our expectations. And so we take all that into consideration when ranking them for other projects if they submit any bids. So all of that comes into play.
I had a question, just wanted to verify. So we haven't had any, so like you said, everything was just the roof drain, the one that runs within the walls that was leaking, and you saw that at the floor level. So you don't have any issues with the roof leaking itself, no tiles breaking, soaking, nothing like that? We don't have any of those issues right now in the east manhole at all?
Everything points to that roof drain, and so what was identified with the roof drain, it's a ring that is a compression ring. Mm-hmm. So you have a gasket or rubber sleeve, right, that makes the connection to the hub up on the roof from the roof drain. And so that ring is cracked. Mm-hmm. And so the roofers identified it as a potential leak or more than likely 99% cost.
You know, I get the internal leak and then through the walls at the base, but I'm just saying, we don't have any issues with the ceiling anymore. Because if you're seeing, I understand the roof drains, but we're not seeing tiles that are getting soaked, falling, collapsing, or anything like that.
We didn't see
There's no
anything.
signs of that. Because if
didn't see anything
if
yesterday.
that's happening, then you don't have a issue with your roof drain. You got something issue with your roof or
Right.
some component up there.
Right.
And like, you know, there's a lot of the gaskets that go up there as well too. But what I'm saying is at this point, because you heard it said earlier, there's no issues with the roof. We don't see that where we see tiles soaking, dripping, breaking, anything like that. No?
We haven't seen anything else.
Okay.
Other
Not
than
this
that
time.
area that Mr. Garza is talking about is just that towards the, I guess, the east side of the manhole.
And then how about the testing? Have you had a consultant come in and test for any type of mold damage? Because obviously this has been going on for years. I got on the board in November 2020, so this was a discussion even before I got on that was an issue for some people in the community. So have we tested already or have we documented? Because if a situation happens, I've seen it in another district where it was overlooked and then they had to demo the entire building at some point.
Correct.
I just want to make sure we cover our bases as an organization and for our taxpayers that we document and we have everything documented, recorded, and whatnot. Because if later on down the line something happens, you pursue legal action, right? Because our taxpayers can't be footing the bill for somebody else's faulty construction.
Correct. And we haven't seen any indication that would lead us to test the building further because we have cinder block walls. That's one of the main reasons. As long as we maintain humidity below 60%, we're in good shape as far as keeping mold at bay and not allowing it to grow.
just
When
a-
we have more reason to test is when we have sheetrock or gypsum walls, and we know that there's a cavity behind the wall to where that's going to stay moist and it's going to grow mold and it's not going to dry up.
It's just food for thought, right? That way we
yes,
just
no,
document it, you
absolutely.
cover your bases later.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
If there are no further questions, or do you still have questions on this? I want to be cognizant of our LSG minutes.
Just test it, just a safety net for us?
We can do that, yes.
If anybody has any other questions for Dr. Rivera, if you guys can please email him, because I want to be cognizant of our LSG minutes. And so if you have anything else, any other questions, maybe we can just get in contact with him and email him. And we'll move on to the next topic. Thank you.
Thank you. The next slide is our bond election, $160 million, and this is where we're at. The phase one has been complete. There's the selection of architects and engineers for phase one. And pending approval tonight, there was 10 categories, so that phase is complete. And then the next step is to approve the contracts either in February or March. And the total cost of phase one was approximately $41 million. The reason we're going with different phases is because the bond projects can be divided into either the management or being complexity. So this is why right now we're looking at several phases. But as we go to phase two, we'll determine whether just phase two is needed or phase three, but we'll keep the board advised with meetings. Now, we are studying the possibility of hiring a project manager to assist us with the contracts. We want to make sure the contracts are correct, that we're covered, and also monitoring of the projects, of these 10 projects. And that'll be part of, that I'll come back to you on this individual that can help us. We just want to we have 10 projects, we want to make sure that they're done correctly with the contract and the actual work. The board approved in December, 14 architects, and then had a short list of 8. Then the board approved 19 engineers and had a short list of 6. So these are the ones that were involved in phase two. Later on, you can tell us if you want these same architects, engineers, or you want a new list, or you want to select different ones. So that'll be to be determined later. I will tell you that on these projects, we're going to get your committee involved, the principals, and stakeholders. Phase two will take place, I would think, maybe by the summer. Earlier than that, we'll look at phase two to continue with the roofs, the air conditioning, the vestibules, the fine arts, and the restrooms. So again, anticipate around June. I want to tell the taxpayers that I thank them and the board and the community for approving the bond election, $160 million, and our taxes are still among the lowest. In fact, next month, I'll bring you a slide that shows you where we compare. We're number 2. The one that's lowest to us did not call a bond election. This is why they're a little bit lower. But again, I want to tell the board that we still have the lowest taxes, among the lowest, and thank you to everyone that helped out, because there's nothing but good things that will happen, and the winners are the boys and girls of Weslaco ISD. On the next page 5, we have the District of Innovation. The advisory committee approved it, and for right now, all we're going to focus on is the calendar, because right now the law states that you have to start school on the 4th Monday in August. We want to start earlier, have the little flexibility. So for right now, we're just going to be looking at the calendar, but then later on, we'll be looking at other things that we can do being a district of innovation. And again, on tonight's agenda, you have under consent for approval, and once you approve it, then we'll go back and look at the calendar, approve the calendar for next year. On page 6, I want to give the board some information. The federal laws that govern us, they look at our scores, and these scores are in special ed, bilingual, economically disadvantaged. They look at our scores, and then they tell you, they rank you either in a targeted support, where it's a identification if your scores are lower. If they don't improve the next year, you go to additional targeted support, like a warning. And if it doesn't improve the 3rd year, you go to your final warning, the comprehensive support. And if you don't improve, then a TA can come over and take over a school or a school district like they did in Houston. I think Houston ISD TA came and took over the entire district. So these are the phases. And I'm proud to say onto the left, you will see that Weslaco ISD had none. We're none all the way across. Not trying to target other districts, but this is public information. You can see that Brownsville has two across. Donna has 3 across. Edcouch-Elsa has 5. Edinburgh 1. Idea has 1. Mission has 1. San Benito 4. So again, these are the districts that are either in the identification, the warning, or you're getting close to being taken over by TA. To the left, I just want to show you the progress that our principals have done, our curriculum people have done with the support of the board. In 2019, there were 6 campuses that were identified as being either targeted or additional, et cetera. And then in 20, it got reduced, it stayed at 6. In 21, it was 4. In 22, it was 2. And for 23, none. So again, I want to commend our staff, our principals, our curriculum people for this work.
Dr. Rivera,
Yes,
question.
yes.
I saw that Los Fresnos and Harlingen are out there. Were they school district that didn't have any targeted support campuses, I'm assuming?
I think staff just did most of the ones that were in Hidalgo County. Yeah,
Region
and
one.
I'm sorry,
Region
Region
one.
1. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Region 1.
But Region 1 is Harlingen.
Yes, I'm not sure, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm not sure if those were
Similar
included.
size districts?
Yeah.
Oh, Hidalgo County.
Hidalgo County, okay. Okay,
Okay, because Brownsville is in Cameron,
yes.
so. All right, thank
Okay.
you.
And also, it came out of the newspaper. I'm sure citizens saw this, and you all saw this, an article maybe about a month ago, where it showed the approaches levels, and it had the districts ranked in Region 1. And then you can see, for example, the average for approaches was 76. The Region 1 was also 76. To the right, you see the district. You see that McAllen was ahead of us with 80, Edinburgh 76, we were 74, and then down the line, I don't want to mention the district, but they're there, Mercedes down at Edcouch-Elsa. So this is how we rank with the approaches. Of course, our goal now is to really meet the masters at that level. The last slide, I have 2 more. The next slide that I have, I had told the board that we wanted to audit our insurance. And the rationale, there's two areas that we want to look at. One, A, is to determine how our district administered the health and pharmacy insurance plans in past years, and then to verify if we maximize the health and pharmacy insurance employee benefits. I know that in past years, during my first term as superintendent here, we had some problems, and you're aware of the lawsuit that happened, and we finally finalized it. And the amount of money that we received is what you see in the boardroom, part of it. You can see that with that money, I wanted to see the results of that lawsuit, of that amount, and you can see the boardroom the way it is now. So we took that money. The boardroom is not from bond election monies, it's just from the insurance money, and you can see how nice it is. And a lot of people, our maintenance department, clerical, administrators, Yvette, we're all responsible. We didn't hire an architect, we did it ourselves. So we did it with this money. So because of this, we want to go back and look at A and B just to make sure that everything was in place and we didn't pay more than what we had to pay. And then
You all did an amazing job, sir.
thank you, thank you. And then the last slide is the Lone Star governance. These are the timelines that we've done. In October, we had the board goals, board constraints, superintendent constraints. In November, we had the goal progress measures. In December, we adopted the superintendent's constraint progress measures. And next month, we're going to adopt the progress monitoring calendar pending the leadership evaluation that we need to do. This is my report. I know you had some questions earlier. From these slides, do you have any additional questions?
Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Rivera?
Oh, yes.
Congratulations with
Dr. Rivera?
ADA,
Thank you.
ADA and all the campuses and the principals and everybody's, with all the effort there, especially the three campuses, Kleckler, Central, and South Palm, for meeting the goals.
Thank you.
Great job.
Anybody else like to add anything? Okay.
Well done, well done.
Well done, absolutely. Great job. Item number 10, Lone Star Governance. We have 10A, preliminary end of course EOC December results.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Rivera, and members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to present some student outcomes as we continue this Lone Star governance journey. First of all, we want to share with you that these are preliminary December EOC results. They're only considered preliminary because the state provides districts the opportunity to make any changes with respect to data. In our case, they're pretty much our final results. This slide provides for you an overview of the end of course results comparing December 2022 to December 2023. As you can see, growth is highlighted in green. WISD continues to grow or show strong growth and improvement, impacting our student performance. Overall, the results are significantly higher than the December 2022 EOC administration. Most notably, Algebra 1, Biology, and U.S. History netted amazing gains. Algebra 1 improved 10 percentage points from the previous year to 33.3%. Biology netted a significant gain of 40 percentage points for a total of almost 61%. U.S. History as well increased slightly under 40 percentage points for a total of 83.6%. English 1 also showed a slight increase of 7 percentage points for a total of 28 percentage points.
Mr. Trevino, may I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there a difference? Did we do something different from last year compared to this year?
So what netted those gains was essentially a good solid instruction, and the high schools were also given the opportunity to have EOC tutors the first semester, which actually made a great difference. We heard from the principals that netted the greatest gains. So the tutors are going to continue into the second semester, and actually they'll increase. So that we know that is making a great impact.
It's a great job.
Let's move
Those
forward.
inputs.
The winter benchmark results, or we know them as benchmark 1, benchmark 2, or benchmark 1, excuse me. This slide provides an overview of our district results in all the content area of reading, math, science, and social studies. Comparing, again, benchmark 1 in 2022 to benchmark 1 in 2023. Again, WISD continues to show growth, strong growth and improvement across all grade levels and content areas, as is indicated by the green highlighted cells. There is a lot to recognize here. We don't have the time to do that, but there is a lot to recognize. I want to kind of just zero in on one area. Let's look at fifth grade science under the elementary row there. In fifth grade science, almost 94% of our students attained approaches in 2023 compared to 88 in 2022. Now, even more significant than that is that in 2023, almost 76% of our students attained meets or higher compared to 31% in 2022. That is almost a 45% increase in students attaining meets or higher.
And sir, take all the time you need. You don't have to rush.
I want to stop you there. I know it's awesome, the green. We like to see the green. I'm looking at English or reading third through fifth. It's just a tiny bit lower than last year, right? These kids obviously are getting the tutors also, or can you explain, what can we do to help here?
Right. So across the district, we have identified, of course, areas of need, right? And so, I'm sorry? I apologize. I thought somebody was asking the question. Yeah, so throughout the district, we've actually have identified the areas of need, and so our coordinators, instructional coordinators have been planning closely with those campuses that are in need to ensure that we are improving. We continue to improve our professional learning throughout our district. In conjunction with Region 1, we're closely working not only on instructional coaching, but also improving our writing, improving our reading. There is purposeful monitoring. We're making sure that we are providing the help that is needed. Another thing that you hear from Dr. Rivera often is that we're ensuring that bell-to-bell instruction is occurring to continue to improve. We have the walkthroughs are purposeful again, and not only are we doing walkthroughs, but the feedback is timely and providing that guidance that is needed. We're also part of what's called the Effective Schools Framework. So in conjunction with Region 1, we're taking a deep dive into the schools and looking at the school from all different angles. Where is it that we need to improve? And just looking for those opportunities to improve all of our school system. So not only are we providing the help for our math and our reading teachers, but we're also providing the help to our campus administrators. So there's a clear and purposeful direction in where we are headed. So these are things that are being input or being placed as part of our inputs, right? Because we want better student outcomes with respect to our Lone Star governance. And of course, the most important thing is that our students are the winners in all of this.
And I mean, one thing to keep in mind too, that third through fifth grade group, if you go back a few years, we were in that COVID bubble. We were in that time frame when instruction was different. And so during those fundamentals and those early stages, right. I mean, to look at the scores the way they are and taking into consideration that those kids and where they were at back during those fundamental years is highly impressive.
Right, so yeah, there's a lot to celebrate in these scores. And again, all kudos goes and congratulations go to the teachers that are in the front line, our administrators, they're just doing a phenomenal job, and our instructional coordinators. Everybody's working together to ensure that our students are doing better. It's all about them, not about us.
Another question, Mr. Trevino, English 1 and English 2, because I'm looking at that one, and it's white all the way across for high school. Is this 9th and 10th grade, English 1 and English 2, or when do the kids take?
The majority of our students test English 1 in 9th grade. The majority of them, we do have some students that are advanced and do that in 8th grade. English 2 is usually done in the sophomore year. Okay. So yes, these are our freshmen and our sophomore. And of course, we have our retesters that test throughout the years or so on, but the majority of our English 1, English 2 are, but this is retesting. I'm sorry. Okay. This is, I'm sorry, our benchmarks. These are our benchmarks.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any questions? Any other
questions?
All right.
A couple of comments. Several schools actually did very well. If you look at the data, Kleckler Health, in almost every area did very well. I know that in the middle school, Central did very well, in every category. So maybe we also need to look to see what they are doing, because all middle schools are pretty well socioeconomic and so forth. But Central did very well. So I commend Mr. Ornelas and his staff. But also Kleckler Health, if you look at them, in almost every area, it's in the master's level especially. Right. I always look at master's level, 40%, 34%. So what are they doing because in fact, in one of them, they had more students than any other elementary school, and they did very well. So a lot of times, we need to see what type of programs they're implementing so we can utilize them at the other schools too. So, because, we're all here together, so let's see what programs the other schools have. I know Sam Houston also had a couple of areas that they did pretty well. And the only reason I mentioned Sam Houston, because my goddaughter Zoe goes to Sam Houston, so I see what they do. So everybody else, I like Ms. Jackie said, I like to see the green. It's easier for me to see that, hey, we're doing well in approaches and meets and masters. But I always look at masters because we want our students to do the best
Right.
in any area, and I think we're in the right direction right now. So Dr. Rivera, you and your staff are doing well.
Thank you.
So continue doing that so we can, at the end, we'll be up there compared to all the other schools.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Trevino. And great job to all the staff. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So that was 10A and 10B, the benchmark results. We'll move on to item 11, the consent items. We've all taken our time to look through these. Do I have anybody who is going to pull anything out? No? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the consent items?
Second.
Okay, go ahead and take it to a vote. Trustee Rodriguez?
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar?
Aye.
Trustee Trevino?
Aye.
Trustee Nieto?
Aye.
Trustee De Los Santos? Aye. Motion passes for the consent items as written on the agenda to be approved. We'll move on to item number, where am I? That was 10, right? 10, 11, I'll go through here. 12A, discussion items. We have the update on trainings, conferences, events, and consider future agenda item requests by Board of Trustees.
Yes, we had, on your backup, you have 3 grievances, 3 level 3s. And I like a range to have these between February the 5th through the 8th. So whatever days you can give me, we'll set them up with these 3 individuals that are listed.
And it'll be one a day or all three in one day?
in one day.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. February 5th.
Do you want us to come back with the date or right now?
I can come back.
Okay. So we can check our calendars?
The 7th and the 8th. I'll be out of town the 5th, 6th.
Okay.
7th, yeah, I'm here.
Well, we can check our calendars and then we'll come back to him or email him.
Yes, okay.
All right. That takes us over to item number 13, discussion and possible action. We have 13A, Superintendent of Schools. Discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to consider approval to change the date of the regular board meeting scheduled on March 19, 2024.
Right, if you look at your calendar, March, we have spring break coming up the week of the 10th through the 16th.
Okay.
And we would like to recommend to the board to give us either to have it on the 19th or the 21st.
Mr. Buttermere, did you have a comment?
Sir, with your permission, I think we're looking at the 21st or the 26th.
Okay, I'm sorry, yes.
Okay.
21st, 26th. Yeah, the 19th is a, yes.
21st? 21st, is everybody okay? 21st? Which lands on a what?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah.
I have class, but I should. It's spring break, right? I don't know. That's fine. Okay, so then we'll change that to March the 21st.
Good. Thank you.
All right. We'll move on to 13B, maintenance.
Do we need to, do we make a motion?
Oh, do we have to vote on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It's a date to change. Okay.
I'm motion to change the meeting to March 21st.
Okay, so we have a motion by Dr. Rodriguez and a second by Coach Cuellar. We'll go ahead and take that to a vote. Dr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar?
Aye.
Trustee Trevino?
Aye.
Trustee Nieto?
Aye.
Trustee De Los Santos? Motion passes for March 21st for our next board meeting. We'll move on to 13B, Maintenance Operations Department. Now, the following items on item number 13 lists all the architects and engineers that were ranked the last time that we met at our board workshop. So I'm going to say each item, and if you guys agree, at the end, we can make a motion to approve all of them as I just read.
On item 13B,
Is that how it is? First a motion and then I read them?
no.
Okay.
On
yes.
this next item, Madam President, we're looking to ratify
Yes.
the administration's approval of a contract with the Warren Group.
Yeah, the
So-
first one we have to
For
do
the warrant,
individually.
yes, for the vestibule.
So I'll make sure to say it like that when I read it? And then we.
No, that, I think
Can we
we'll,
do it separately?
Separately?
yeah, it'll be
Okay,
separate, yeah.
then let's just take a motion and a vote for 13B, separate from the rest of them. So the item is discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to ratify the administration's approval of a contract with the Warren Group Architects, Inc. for the design and construction administration of vestibules at designated school buildings, main entrances, district-wide. Do I have any discussion before?
Just a motion.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take it to a vote if there is no discussion. Trustee Rodriguez?
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar?
Aye.
Trustee Trevino?
Aye.
Trustee Nieto?
Aye.
Trustee De Los Santos? Motion passes.
What else in that?
Now we can do the 13B2 down to 13B13. And I'll go ahead and read them all so they can be on the record who's going to be recommended, and then we'll have a motion. Is that the way it works? Okay. So 13B2, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire the Warren Group Architects, Inc. to provide architectural services for the Bond Phase 1 vestibule projects at Weslaco East High School and Beatriz G. Garza Middle School. 13B3, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire Janak and Associates, LLP, to provide architectural services for the Bond Phase 1 restroom improvements projects at Dr. R.E. Margo Elementary and Beatriz G. Garza Middle School. 13B4, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire Amtech Solutions, Inc. to provide architectural services for the Bond Phase 1 roofing projects at Kleckler Held Elementary School and A. Tony Rico Elementary School. 13B5, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire Rabba Kistner, Inc. to provide architectural services for the Bond Phase 1 roofing project at Beatriz G. Garza Middle School and the building envelope project at Weslaco High School Sepulveda Gymnasium Complex. 13B6, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire Half Associates, Inc. to provide engineering services for the Bond Phase 1 field turf replacement project at Weslaco East High School Stadium. 13B7, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire Half Associates, Inc. to provide engineering services for the Bond Phase 1 tennis courts improvements project at Weslaco High School. 13B8, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire Half Associates, Inc. to provide engineering services for the Bond Phase 1 running track projects at Central Middle School, Dr. Armando Cuellar Middle School, Mary Hogue Middle School, and Beatriz G. Garza Middle School. 13B9, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire Sigma HN Engineers, PLLC Associates, Inc., to provide engineering services for the Bond Phase 1 lighting upgrades project at the Susan M. Peterson Center for the Performing and Visual Arts. 13B10, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire Ethos Engineering to provide engineering services for the Bond Phase 1 fire alarm system upgrade projects at PFC Mario Ibarra Elementary and Weslaco East High School. 13B11, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire E3 Integral Solutions, Inc. to provide engineering services for the Bond Phase 1 district-wide HVAC controls project and the HVAC upgrades project at Dr. Armando Cuellar Middle School. 13B12, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire Trinity MEP Engineering to provide engineering services for the Bond Phase 1 HVAC upgrades project at the Beatriz G. Garza Middle School. 13B13, discussion and possible action for the Board of Trustees to approve to hire Trinity MEP Engineering to provide engineering services for the Bond Phase 1 HVAC upgrades project at Weslaco High School. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
Second.
We are motioning to approve items 13B2 to item 13B13. We have a motion by Trustee Rodriguez and a second by Trustee Cuellar. We'll go ahead and take it to a vote. Is there no further discussion?
And they're all part of the bond election.
This is all part of the
160
bond
million.
election. It's not just one firm, it was spread out,
Yes.
just to make that, put it on record. We'll go ahead and take it to a vote. Dr. Rodriguez?
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar?
Aye.
Trustee Trevino?
Aye.
Trustee Nieto?
I'm going to abstain, even though, because I wasn't present for the presentations, but you all, fellow board members, did an excellent job in asking questions, and the presenters did awesome too. So I'm abstaining. Next time I won't, because I'll be here.
Thank you, Mr. Nieto. Trustee De Los Santos? Motion passes from item 13B2 to item 13B3. Congratulations to all the architects and engineers, and we look forward to working with you. Next, item 14, closed meeting to discuss 14A, personnel matters, Texas Government Code 551.074. 14A1, discussion regarding superintendent recommendation on certified professional and non-contractual personnel. 14A2, discussion regarding superintendent's recommendation on resignations, retirements of certified personnel and non-contractual personnel. 14A3, deliberation regarding the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, Texas Government Code 551.074 and 551.071. 14B, consultation with attorney regarding B1, pending or contemplated litigation, B2, settlement offer, or B3, a matter in which the duty of the attorney of the Weslaco Independent School District under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code 551.071. 14C, we're not there yet. I was just on a roll there, wasn't I? Okay, it is 6:40 PM, and we are adjourned to closed session. It is 7:09 PM and we have reconvened an open meeting. We'll start with 14C1, possible action if necessary on items discussed in closed meeting. 14C2, discussion and possible action regarding superintendent's recommendation on employment of certified personnel and non-contractual personnel. Do I have a motion?
I have a motion to approve as discussed in executive session.
Second.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take it to a vote if there's no further discussion. Trustee Rodriguez?
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar?
Aye.
Trustee Trevino?
Aye.
Trustee Nieto.
Aye.
Trustee De Los Santos.
Aye.
Motion passes. 14C3, discussion and possible action regarding superintendent's recommendation on resignations, retirements of certified personnel and non-contractual personnel. Do you have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. De Los Santos and a second by Mr. Cuellar. Any discussion? Take it to a vote. Trustee Rodriguez?
Aye.
Trustee Cuellar?
Aye.
Trustee Trevino?
Aye.
Trustee Nieto.
Aye.
Trustee De Los Santos.
Aye.
Motion passes, takes us to adjournment.
So move.
We are adjourned.
The time now is
The time now is
7:20.